Hello, I'm Addison, and I'm here with another video. I'll be exposing a common manipulation tactic that's used by the individuals harassing me online. To put this into perspective, the harassers have used this tactic for years, but it was never originally documented or known till one of the Elemental Battlegrounds staff had informed me of it. To help you better understand, some loser online has been spreading false rumors about me for over a course of 5 years. But despite me not doing what's being said in the rumors, I was still somehow some way being accused while others were believing the rumors. And the rumors started off as being little things I didn't care about, like saying I was egotistical or just a bad person. I didn't care about this because I knew they weren't true. Then year 2024, the rumors became more absurd. Like it went from spreading rumors about me to making rumors targeted at my family, despite my family not making their business known to the harassers or even engaging with the harassers. So what is going on? Like, I genuinely could not figure that out. Then the rumors escalated to things like saying my family isn't real, despite me not making my family business known to strangers other than Victoria being my younger sister. To despite nothing they were saying having no truth to it. They were getting people believing them, or rather getting flying monkeys to believe them. It was quite obvious that whatever method they were using for this abuse, they were using it more and more often while loving how effective it was. Till one of the Elemental Battlegrounds staff members of the official Elemental Battlegrounds Discord server had informed me directly of this nasty method that they use for manipulation of others online. And so I'm here to expose that method to make people aware of it and show you how this method is messed up and is used for manipulation. The method that the Elemental Battlegrounds staff told me of is that the people harassing me use this manipulation tactic that is by adding you into a group chat, and once in the group chat with the victim they want to manipulate, they will begin to say messed up stuff about someone while members of the group chat agree to what's being said in order to manipulate or trick the target who was invited into the group chat into believing that what's being said is true. To understand this method and what it actually entails, we will be using Google AI Overview and Google searches to help you understand what this tactic is actually about and how this tactic and method is a nasty way of manipulation of someone. Just go to Google and search up can making group chats and inviting people to them to agree or spread around a false rumor be a sign of manipulation. It says, yes, creating group chats and inviting people to them to agree with or spread false rumors is a significant sign of manipulation, specifically categorized as a form of social bullying or cyberbullying. This behavior is a calculated, indirect, and often cowardly tactic used to damage someone's reputation, turn friends against them, and gain social power. Here is a breakdown of why this behavior is manipulative based on psychological and social dynamics. Key characteristics of this manipulation: triangulation. The manipulator brings a third party, the group, into a conflict with the target to amplify their own power, gain validation, and make the victim feel isolated. The echo chamber effect. By inviting people to agree, the manipulator ensures their story is validated, making it harder for the victim to defend themselves against false consensus. This tactic often tricks others into believing that because everyone in the group is talking about the rumor, it must be true. Passive-aggressive control. The creator of the chat often stays hidden or acts as a passive, innocent participant, directing the abuse without appearing explicitly aggressive. 2. Underlying motivations. Insecurity and jealousy. Toxic individuals often feel threatened by the target and use these methods to feel superior. Need for attention. They enjoy the drama and the control of being the center of attention. Social dominance. They are trying to climb a social ladder by bringing others down. 3. Psychological and social impact. Damage to reputation. It tarnishes reputations and destroys trust in social circles or workplaces. Isolation of the victim. The target may feel alone and ostracized, even if they have other friends, because the group chat creates a powerful, false public opinion against them. Anxiety and mental strain. Being the target of such organized rumors often causes anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. 4. How to identify the tactics. The agreement trap. The message is designed to make people say, "I'm sure you agree," or "Isn't it true that..." Exclusionary. Inclusion. including someone in a chat just to exclude them, or to use them as a silent audience to watch the rumor spread, instant message bombarding, sending multiple rapid-fire messages to overwhelm others, making it difficult to challenge the rumor. What to do? Do not engage. If you are invited to such a chat, the best response is to stay neutral, exit the group, or confront the behavior by saying, "Why are you telling me this?" Document and block. If you are the target, take screenshots, document for evidence, then block the creator and leave the chat. Address it directly. If the rumor is serious, address it directly with the person, or tell them you know what they're doing. This behavior is a clear sign of a toxic, manipulative person who prefers to use behind-the-back tactics rather than direct communication. So, yeah. And if you do another Google search and include, "Can this be a tactic used when the perpetrator has no significant evidence to what they're saying for the sole purposes of lying?" then you get these results. It says, in short, yes, absolutely. What you are describing is a textbook example of a smear campaign, often facilitated by triangulation. When someone lacks evidence or facts, they often turn to social proof, the idea that if enough people believe a lie, the truth no longer matters. Here is a breakdown of why this is a manipulation tactic and how it functions. 1. Manufacturing social proof. When a perpetrator has no evidence, they rely on consensus. By creating a group chat, they create an echo chamber. The tactic: if the perpetrator tells 10 people individually, those people might question the story. The manipulation: by putting all 10 people in a group, the perpetrator creates a mob mentality. Individuals are less likely to voice doubt or ask for evidence when they see others nodding along or reacting with shock. 2. Strategic triangulation. Triangulation is a manipulation tactic where one person controls the flow of communication between 2 or more other people. By acting as the admin or the source of the information, the perpetrator ensures they are the central hub of the narrative. They can frame themselves as a concerned friend or a victim to gain sympathy, making it socially difficult for others to demand hard proof. 3. Isolation through preemptive striking. The goal of these group chats is often to isolate the target before the target even knows what is happening. By spreading the rumor early and widely, the perpetrator primes the audience. If the target eventually tries to defend themselves, the group has already been programmed to see the target as a liar or crazy, regardless of the facts. Why no evidence drives this behavior? When a person has a legitimate grievance, they usually present the facts. When a person has a hidden agenda, they must rely on the emotional manipulation. The lack of evidence is actually why they use the group chat tactic. They need the collective energy of the group to distract from the fact that the story has no foundation. It is a way of winning through numbers rather than truth. Note: this behavior is often associated with high conflict personalities or those with narcissistic traits, as it serves to maintain control and status within a social circle. 1 second, let's refresh the page and do the same Google searches because my browser just quit on me. Okay, so let's start over. It says, in short, yes, absolutely. What you are describing is a textbook example of calculated manipulation. This specific behavior is often referred to in psychology as triangulation or a smear campaign. When someone lacks evidence, they often substitute quantity for quality. If they can't prove a lie is true, they try to make it feel true by getting a group of people to repeat it. When a perpetrator doesn't have facts, they rely on social engineering to achieve their goals. Social validation. If 5 people in a group chat are nodding their heads, a newcomer is much more likely to believe the lie without asking for proof. This is known as the bandwagon effect isolation. By controlling the narrative in a group setting, the manipulator effectively cuts the victim off from their support system before the victim even knows what's happening. Manufacturing evidence. In the digital age, a group chat full of people agreeing with a lie becomes proof in itself. They can point to the chat and say, "See, everyone else thinks so too." The power in numbers. Illusion. It creates an intimidating environment where the victim feels it is them versus the world, making it harder for the victim to defend themselves. The no evidence factor. The lack of evidence is actually why the group chat is created. If someone has a video, a receipt, or a direct quote, they can let the evidence speak for itself. When they have nothing, they must build a consensus of belief. They use the emotional energy of the group to bypass the logical need for proof. Note: this behavior is frequently associated with dark triad personality traits, narcissism, Machiavellianism, because it prioritizes social dominance and the destruction of an enemy over truth or empathy. And so this is when it all clicked for me. No wonder these people were getting off talking about my family despite having no contact or connection to my family, or why they were off making rumors about me saying they knew things about me that was literally impossible to know about me. I'm talking about like things that can only be found out about me if you met me in person, and somehow people were believing it. It completely puzzled me to what they could possibly be doing or saying to get people to believe things that were obvious lies and sounded even absurd at times. But then I received a lucky break in my investigation, and around year 2025 was when people started submitting to me screenshots of these group chats that was mentioned in the Google AI overview segment of the video that I'm about to reveal to you. This screenshot is actually so goofy that I can't believe people are actually falling for this BS. But as you can see, there's the users, and you're kind of seeing the same behavior mentioned in the Google AI overview, where they say something about someone, then have members of the group chat agree in order to paint the illusion that what's being said in the group chat is true, normally by repeating the phrase, "you must agree," or "oh, that's true." This is what Google has labeled as the agreement trap, as mentioned earlier in the Google AI overview segment of the video. This is normally a tactic used for lying and tricking others when someone doesn't have any evidence. As mentioned in the Google AI overview, this is why they resort to this method, and I have more screenshots of this method sent to me by other users. Like this. I also have a screenshot of what the Elemental Battlegrounds staff owner of the official Elemental Battlegrounds Discord said when they were invited to these group chats. And just to clarify, I'm friends with the staff owner of Elemental Battlegrounds, and he will see this video. So safe to say I wouldn't lie about this, but when Plockster, the owner of the official Elemental Battlegrounds Discord, was added to these group chats, they said this. Plockster was saying they added him to these group chats trying to make me out a crazy person, which is consistent with what Google AI overview mentioned, saying, if the target eventually tries to defend themselves, the group has already been programmed to see the target as a liar or crazy, regardless of the facts. Meaning, in this instance, Plockster was the target for manipulation into being programmed to believe false rumors saying, I was a crazy person to put me in a situation where I couldn't defend myself against the rumors despite the rumors obviously having no evidence. See how one person in the group chat says something about someone, then suddenly another account that's likely an alt account joins in and just agrees to whatever is being said out of nowhere to trick the victim into believing what's being said appearing true, and it's always the same method and pattern and behavior. Also, if you re-look at the screenshot for a second, then you will see where someone is saying that I pretend to be the celebrity Addison Rae. And I find this incredibly infuriating because I literally put on my accounts that I'm not Addison Rae. I've been asked if I was Addison Rae in game in Elemental Battlegrounds, which I always replied no. And when I was first asked about Addison Rae, I replied and said I didn't even know who that even was. So, what are people supposed to believe? I somehow can pretend to be someone that I didn't even know existed. As mentioned in the Google AI overview, the group chats are to trick people into believing things to lower suspicion of asking questions or asking for evidence to try and make the need for logical explanations irrelevant and go along with the false rumors. In a way, this is a disgusting method of taking advantage of someone over narcissistic and selfish desires. This nasty method needed to be addressed to protect members of the Roblox community from manipulation and harm, because manipulation does come with real-world harm, and these losers are going out of their way to risk that over personal gain. I'ma end the video here. Please make sure to subscribe if you want more content like this in the future, and make sure to look at the description for more very important information.